there's also moments in life that you should be a bit duty. Duty is more about you need to learn to chill. You need to learn to touch grass. You need to be a little silly and embrace that side of you that can just relax sometimes. And I think that's a good mental health balance thing that we preach out there.
I feel like Mr. Boom. Yeah.
Hey everyone, today we have one of my friends, and we always see in our industry, we always see people are either doing pure utility or doing memes or etc. We don't really see much people, they have an IP where they are actually trying to leverage with real merchants and a big story behind. So before we start, ni hao ma.
Ni hao, ni hao.
You wanted English. I surprised you with the Chinese.
Yes.
So before we start in our show, we want to know who is Frank. Before the crypto, what you were doing, the history.
Sure.
Why? Because in crypto, you find many successful people, but most of them didn't even have a background. They became just lucky and they became rich, and they are the one trying to promote the crypto and this industry. While there are also some people that they studied, they've seen things in life, and they worked in different fields before they ape into crypto. So it's not just luck, right? Buying a shit coin and then you're pumping it. So who is Frank?
Okay, well, thank you for inviting me here. This is my first time in Dubai, and this is the first meeting I have. Real great pleasure. My name is Frank. I'm from Hong Kong. I grew up in Hong Kong, but I studied in the States when I went to college, and I was in Wisconsin. After college, I went to work in McKinsey. It's a management consulting firm. And then I was in Chicago for 2.5 years. I was going to stay a bit longer to build a better resume, but then they wanted me to get a green card. So I opted to, I'll just move back to Hong Kong because I envisioned myself working back in Hong Kong anyway. And then my mentor back then told me I really should look into venture capital and private equity. Back in those days when we were in college, most people look into iBanks and everything. That's where the main hot money is. But my mentor told me the hot money is going to move from iBanks to private banks and into venture capital. And if I move back to Asia, that's where I should go. So I worked in a private equity fund in 2009, from 2009 to 2016. For 8 years, I've been investing in tech and in a lot of different startups in Southern China and Southeast Asia. And I watched the whole mobile market boom and everything. But then in 2016, I decided to pursue my own career because, I'm a very typical Chinese person. I go to a college, I try to go for economics and math and go for the financial path because that's where stability is. But deep down, my personal passion is in gaming. And I've always wanted to create my own game. I've been a very fervent gamer all my life. I play extremely competitively. And after 8 years, almost 10 years.
What games you played? Because I used to be Warlock 7 in the world and World of Warcraft.
Well, I was the first Pharaoh, Druid, Warlord, and World of Warcraft.
So you were a healer or DPS?
I'm a DPS. Most people go healer back in early days.
Druid is a bit gay, but
Druids are good for healers. But I wanted to pick a class that I can beat anyone in a duel. Except warlocks. Fucking soul links are disgusting.
So we played both. But I stopped. My last thing was Garrosh. And we made the world fastest kill in Garrosh. Very nice. But then I stopped.
But I only like the arenas. I was also one of the first gladiators.
So you're a PvP?
Yeah.
I'm a PvE.
I strictly love arenas and PvP. So I was one of the first warlords. Back then, when you have to grind all the way in Warsong Gulch, I just ran flags every day. Yeah. And then and then the arena
Horde
came out.
Alliance, by the way.
Horde, of course.
For the Horde!
No, definitely not. Alliance is very gay and a lot of kids. So definitely not my thing. Yeah, but World of Warcraft was extremely fun. But for competitively, I usually play Counter-Strike.
I played Counter.
Red Alert and StarCraft 1. I play extremely competitively. But as we grow old, we don't have time to play such long
games.
Crypto
took everything.
Crypto takes a lot
with our soul, even everything being stolen.
I can't even play mobile games much now. But I've always wanted to create my own game company,
Okay.
and so I gave up the buy side, the financial side, and found my own company in 2016. And I found a crazy group of people who want to pursue this dream of mine, which is to create something very unique. And it's not just a game we're going for; it's a whole gaming franchise and IP. Because from what we learned in our era, I think Blizzard has shown like, while many games they may just reskin or do an update or two, but if you persist in creating an IP and a story, it lasts, and the IP itself is priceless, and it's something that can truly keep the team going. And
See, I really agree with you. I mean, yet the execution also very important. Like when you're mentioning now Blizzard, for us playing, let's say World of Warcraft or Hearthstone or what, even Hearthstone is a bit gay, but anyways, people loved it. For us, we were a part of the identity of Blizzard.
yeah,
We feel like we are a Blizzard people, right? The execution was bad, in my kind of opinion. The movie was extremely sucks. You saw the movie, right? It was not really relevant too much to what we have experienced over all these years, right?
very cringe.
Yes, exactly. I do agree. And it's good that you are seeing all that. So I think you were one of the first people actually to do something like that as a Blizzard, to mix, the role playing, etc., etc. So it was a good learning experience to maybe people also like you who are coming from this industry and loving this industry, and then seeing that. So then you decided to make your own game.
Yeah.
Tell us now this part.
And so, well, I didn't take gaming lightly. Gaming has always been one of the toughest business out there, with multiple different departments, and also creating a story. It's not something that you can just dream of and do. So it took almost 9 years now, from concept creation, writing the story, prototyping, game design. And ultimately, the toughest thing is finding the right team. You can't just recruit a whole bunch of elites and expect them to work together. Actually, in gaming, it's quite different, because the stronger your talents have, the more identity they have, their own characters, and it's harder to get them to work together.
It's the character,
actually.
exactly.
And this is the biggest shock I had, moving from a financial world to a more creative industry.
Everyone has an ego.
They have personalities and egos, and it's not just you tell them like there's a KPI and do it.
True.
And you can't just tell them, hey, this doesn't look good. It's not commercial. You can't talk to the artists that way. This took years to gather the team and form the synergy to what we have today. Many arguments still break through, but I think a strong team requires years to build. And over the years, we've built this quite an elite team that we have in Hong Kong. And then we finally went to production after finding crypto. Because when I was
When did you find crypto?
2021.
Okay. So you're a bit late in.
We're a bit late.
cycle.
I mean, we were just trying to create a mobile game in the beginning. I mean, I saw the mobile markets boom and everything, and it's incredible. The monetization is great. But building a brand under the monetization model back then, it's tough. I mean, they can make a lot of money, but you can't really build a very strong, loyal audience with mobile gaming, because there's too many
100%.
games.
Exactly. It's
So
just a
it was
period of time.
hard.
You make money and then.
And then you move on to the next one, or reskin.
True.
So I was still trying to find the right model to build a core community and everything. And then came crypto, CryptoKitties first. My co-founder, who's actually the one with a lot of experience in gaming, told us to look into it early. But that was 2018, and it was way too early. I was not ready for it. But then he really pushed again when Axie first came out in 2021, and I said, there's something here. And then we looked into it. We even bought into it even before the gaming guilds, and we started playing it. And we witnessed the whole boom of Axie Infinity. But we didn't just see like huge money, hot money coming in. We actually saw a business model that actually can nurture a new form of entertainment, a new form of gaming or digital entertainment, where you build a very core following and you can reach a huge international audience without having to deal with all the traditional publishers and all that. And it was, for an indie developer like us that's trying to really grow strong, it's ideal. That's actually how we form our core community as well, via crypto and rapidly engaging a huge mass of audiences around the world. And then from there, of course, also learned a lot of lessons. Back then, everyone in 2021 thought gaming, crypto would have been mass adopted by now. 3 years, 4 years away, the retail growth should have expanded, but did not. The population is still growing very slowly, so we have to pivot and change. But still, incorporating crypto, adding this layer of interaction and reaching out to this audience, I think it's still a right way to go. But we have to find a new way to package everything and to make sure everything is more easily understandable. I think that's the problem we're facing right now. And with the IP coming up, this is why we are looking into reaching out to a much more broader user base. Memes on the outset may seem to be speculative and gambling by nature, but it's also very accessible and easy to understand.
Exactly.
And I think that's a good segue and a good onboarding layer
You can
for new
consider
users.
the meme community as your retailers that they can come and play the game because they're free.
Yes.
They're just jumping, opening these tools, jumping for the next thing. But at the end, they also want something fun and easy. They don't want to go heavy utility because they are very far from going to that
definitely
level.
not. I've tried that.
Yeah, when you
That's
told them
the-
DeFi, they don't understand. They say it's a meme token. They
I
don't
didn't
get it.
just tell them DeFi. I told them gaming, minting, breeding, on-chain, and they were all just, sounds cool. And they all bought in, but they were just waiting to
leave.
speculate.
Yeah.
But of course, you can still build quite a core following. There's still users. I mean, 10 out of every 100 probably stays and actually looks into the whole thing.
So what did you build? Now you're saying game and IP. What is the game called?
The main game is actually called Apeiron. It's a real-time strategy game
So
that
the
we
one
launched
you're
on
wearing
Ronin. Yeah. This
Okay.
is actually the first game that I've been building in years. Duty Pals, and dude, it's actually an IP.
This is the first
IP
time I know
software.
about this. I
Oh.
only know about this. Tell us more about this.
Well, actually, in the game, the dudes is actually the citizens in your game. They're like your minions,
Yeah.
and they will follow you
So
around.
this is a
and they-
part inside the game.
Yeah,
But you're building, you told me, and
we're spinning out a whole story because it's in our game. There's a whole universe made up of mythology and gods, and every planet and every platform out there has little life forms, and they're all these dudes actually. This is the generic version, but there are different characters, heroes, and they have a lot of different stories interweaving with a lot of traditional myths, and that will come out now in the form of Duty Pals and in the IP with animations, series, mini games, and merchandise. Actually, right now in Hong Kong, we're in a licensing show where we showcase this IP to work with restaurants, hotel chains.
I
in
like
China.
it. Like even though I'm a more horde guy, this looks a bit alliance to me, but it depends on the action if they are aggressive or not.
Oh, they actually depends on how you treat them. They can get spoiled easily and they grow fat and actually lazy. But so you sometimes have to discipline them. And
They
then
like hot pot or not?
Well, every
They eat-
Chinese loves hot pot,
They-
and the dudes love food.
I love hot pot,
Oh,
but I love, you know why? Because you can eat a lot of see you tomorrow, and you know see you tomorrow or not? The mushroom,
yes.
and also I eat chicken feet, so that's why collagen. You know, we look young.
Oh, you have Chinese genes. in you.
I'm Chinese. Well, I'm Chinese more than you.
Oh.
So here, this is the, let's say, the character that will be also a part of the main game.
Yes.
And here also the one where you have the IP plus also you have IP
Yes.
here, right?
This actually is a surprise for us because in the main game, there's the player is actually a godling. You're a mini god, and then there's different avatars and everything. But turns out the most successful and most popular is this guy.
Of course. I mean,
It's
if you're
cute.
gonna tell me about the game or this, people are gonna get attached to this more.
Yeah,
And this is
everyone-
how I think how you build the story of a game.
Yeah.
People
They
need
are.
to get attached to something, right?
They do, and actually that's why the whole IP and everything is built around them, and they are very relatable. And have you heard of Chikawa?
No.
Chikawa is one of the biggest. What about Labubu?
No.
Okay,
I
so
stopped gaming a long time ago.
So Chikawa and
Because
Labubu are
Counter-Strike
actually.
and stuff.
Oh, well, Chikawa and Labubu are actually IP, one of the biggest IPs in the world right now.
Okay.
Labubu got popular because one of the Blackpink girls they really love it, and Chikawa is one of the biggest IP brands in Japan right now, and they started out as like this mini animated series. Animation, as we know, were actually like series dramas like Dragon Ball episodes, 20 minutes long. But right now, these days, there's actually a new form of media that's rising. It's called micro drama series. Very popular in China. 微短剧 is what they call it. 1 minute, 30-second long episodes with 100 episodes. You can watch it in the commune, you can watch it while on your travels. And the subscription model of these micro drama series already exceeds in revenue compared to movies. And think how big Chinese movie industry is. But this micro drama series subscription model already exceeded Chinese movie industry.
Really?
It's insane. It's extremely big right now.
It's like anime?
They do real life versions right now. Anime, there's actually only probably 3 that's doing that right now, and they do it in a really low quality. In Apeiron and Duty Pulse, we're going to do it in 3D and high quality, and we're going to mass manufacture it. We'll be the first micro drama series animated, and we'll showcase quite a different model to the world. But I haven't actually told anyone. This is the first time.
Oh, exclusive, huh? So what is the name of this again?
The Dudes.
So Dudes, and you also have a token for Dude,
The
which
Duty
I'm
Pulse.
also holding.
Yeah.
Tell
the
us
Duty
more
Pulse
about
meme.
this.
So the Duty Pulse meme actually is well, it's not just an IP that we are creating. I thoroughly believe that memes, well, to most people maybe speculation and short-term holds. But memes, I think, is also a cultural layer. I'm talking about big blue chip memes, what they represent and what they embody. And for us, I mean, for Apeiron, this is something that I've worked on for 9 years now. So most of my golden years is put into this. And I don't want to just make it become a fad. It's actually a whole cultural layer that I want to embody behind the Dudes. It's more an emotion and a style of life. So it's supported by the IP and everything, yes. But if you look into our Twitter and how we position the Dudes, it's actually a character, an attitude that we spread dudiness to the world. Because, well, we live in probably one of the most extreme industries in the world with a lot of high octane, high stress environment in crypto. And we're all gamblers and degens. And
It is stressful, right?
And
It is a stressful space.
but there's also moments in life that you should be a bit duty. Duty is more about, you need to learn to chill. You need to learn to touch grass. You need to be a little silly and embrace that side of you that can just relax sometimes. And I think that's a good mental health balance thing that we preach out there. And we're really trying to make a difference, actually. If you look into more and more into what we are showing, we're trying to do more real life stuff. Handing out plushies to random people, having the mascot cheer people up in different times, giving free hugs, actually, coming up in real life videos. It's something that we're trying to promote. And it's not just the IP, it's a whole culture layer that we want to promote.
It. My question is actually 2 questions here. I like the touches, very soft.
Thanks.
Why did you? Where are your audience from? Like, whom are you targeting? And 2, why did you choose BNB chain?
So originally, we were just trying to target digital social
Also,
media.
you're for
audience
meme token, right?
Games. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So just social media. So we're just trying to target gamers in the beginning.
Okay.
But when we were creating the story behind the Dudes, there's actually a lot more to them. One of the most successful cases is that they actually go through a lot of hardship, being manhandled by the players or by the gods, but they're always cheerful and duty. And more and more these days, there's actually an economy called mental wellness economy. Not sure if you've heard of it, but ever since COVID, this mental wellness economy grew by 20 to 30% each year. And it's not just about like being physically fit or anything. It's actually about your mental wellness. Are you too stressed? Are you isolated? Are you alone? There's more and more people actually spending into these things. Little trinkets, little mini games, watching very, very ASMR videos that just helps people de-stress. And that is actually the segment we're targeting specifically right now with the IP. We're going for micro drama series that's actually super relaxed, with some hooks here and there, but you don't really need to use too much brain power for it. It's purely for relaxation. You can just watch it, relax your brain, and move on. The minigame itself is extremely easy. It's a collection game where you just pretty much you spank them and feed them, and they do their own thing.
So you said something about breeding. Do they breed?
No, not here. The breeding is in the main game.
Okay.
They do multiply though, but I'll leave that for the game review later. So that's one thing. The segment that we're talking about are actually digital age users that's more and more isolated by today's day and age. As for why BNB and 4.meme, in the beginning when I decided to integrate a meme coin for this IP, it was actually very recent. In early February, that was. Everyone was talking about Solana and everything, but we were looking into different chains. I think Solana back then actually it was all about trenching. It was all about speculation, and most of the coins there don't really last more than 2 months. We were not trying to build something that's only lasts 2 months to make quick money and dart away. We're actually trying to build something for the long term and going for a bit more of a slow cook, I would say. So we were looking for chains that represent that. We were originally on Polygon, and then we moved to Ronin because we were focusing core game audiences. But the meme is different. The meme is something that we're trying to target a broader audience, OGs, core communities that's been around. And there's only a few chains to select from if we pick.
Even for the game, you still can go BNB chain.
Back then,
I like Polygon. But there is not really much of. That's my opinion again.
well, in the
I
beginning,
say
we
I
picked
prefer
Polygon.
BNB chain if it comes to this level.
Well, actually, after selecting quite a few chains right now, I think BNB chain is actually going to be quite impressive, especially with what Zizi and He is going to be, and has been hinting and teasing for a while now.
So this is like this.
But for me, we picked Ronin back then because a lot of our core tokenomics model for the main game back then were derived from Axie Infinity, and Axie also understood our concept pretty. The whole Sky Mythos team, we were one of the earlier games that migrated over there, and they gave us a lot of support, which of course it was what a lot of us small projects and indie developers want in the beginning. BNB, on the other hand, it's a large chain. It has a lot of support for everything, but the attention it can give us in terms of gaming may not be as much as we desire because there's already quite a blossoming gaming ecosystem on BNB chain existing, and we want to be one of the select few in the beginning. And so we went on Ronin. We did a pretty successful launch back then. Got 1.8 billion FDV in 2 hours, and then our daily active users grew exponentially. But it's all during the token launch. But this time around, when we were building this meme layer, we were looking for chains that's also expanding. And that's where we met 4.meme team, and that's when we hit it off quite nicely. Meaning Mia, Eddie. They were very supportive of new projects going there.
Yes, I wanna just say that for meme is just for the people who don't know, it's the like the pump fund of Solana. It's the pump fund of BNB chain. There are several also the same as in Solana, but for meme is in my kind of opinion is the best because they give you the most support. They really try to push you. They do spaces for you. Try to give you if there is like a BNB.
They also evolve very quickly.
Yes, this is very important because many of them are Chinese also. So
yes.
it's always available. I even say if someone sleeps, if a Chinese sleeps more than 5 hours a day, he's no longer Chinese. It should be 3 to 4 hours a day is more than enough.
Well,
So they are like that, always there, always supporting. And when we see BNB competitions, etc., they always try to give you like guidelines, do this, like try to work in your community. Let's do some spaces for you to get you more audience. They're trying to do good in their capacity, let's say. In BNB, I love BNB. I'm one of the main supporters of BNB. And also to be fair, I think they need more BD team. I think they need like maybe 6-7 times more the amount of the BD team they have.
I would agree on this because right now the BNB chain, the core community as we are growing here, is still very Chinese based, which is not a problem and it's great. But when it comes to international communities, I think the strength of BNB chain can really shine if they can attract more international communities and other chains, because everyone knows about BNB actually, and and if we look into the projects lately, BNB has the momentum, they have the liquidity and everything, but they need to grow more awareness to attract more retail, which I think sooner or later it's going to happen anyway.
See, it's a bit far from our topic.
Sorry.
No, it's good, but I want to discuss it fast. One of the issues, in my kind of opinion, which is now getting sold, which is the wallet, like the accessibility to buy. It's not that easy as other wallets.
Yeah.
So our main wallet here is Trust Wallet, and now OneChain is doing an amazing job fixing so many things to make it as an easier experience to the retailers. That's number one. Number two, as I said, we need more BD team, because the difference between, and the biggest difference between Solana builders and BNB builders are hustler. So it doesn't go like this. No, just go, and then they have to keep building. So that requires a lot of attention from the BD team to be almost with you on a daily basis till you pass, because it's a hustler chain. It's not a like this. It's really hustler chain, and I'm quite sure you experienced that already. So you need that type of support, and then the international part definitely also a part of that. But as a chain, BNB was never hacked. Even a few years ago, when something happened, they paused because they have a centralized, like, I don't want to go very deep in the terminologies, where they paused the chain for a few hours to protect the users, which is one time happened, and it was immediately happening, and that was amazing. So we come back to this baby boy. So you wanted a fair launch, right? And I think you have some international people who are liking the puppet, right?
Yeah, I think we have more international audiences
Than
compared to
Chinese.
Chinese audience.
I was
right
telling you
now.
that now when we went up.
Yeah, because
I'm gonna make you join some of my WeChat groups.
Definitely.
I'm more Chinese than you. I get you with me now.
I think so. Because from Hong Kong, my Mandarin is really bad. 我会说，但是我普通话非常普通。So, but it's good. I mean, we also trying to expand quite rapidly in China coming up, because in the Hong Kong, in the licensing show, a lot of the buyers coming here are from the Chinese mainland as well, and we want to form a team up there as well on the Web2 side of things, of course, to build the brand, but yeah, traditionally, because we're from gaming, and most gaming actually stems from like Southeast Asian audiences, Western NFT crowds. So we have a core crowd from there. But as for growing a core community, we're trying to step by step meeting more Chinese KOLs, some Chinese styles here and there to grow. But we're still early, so don't mind taking the time. And we have so much hidden under the hood that it will showcase.
Let me ask you a question. Now, you build on BNB and you're having 4meme and BNB team. Who's more available with you? BNB BD team or 4meme?
For me.
I agree.
For me.
I agree 100%.
Yeah. Well, the BNB, if you look at all the events and plans they're having, they they're trying to go for
no, they're trying, but I'm saying I agree with you, and I believe they just need 7-10 times more the number of the BDs to be able
but for them, yes,
support.
they've been doing great. I think the biggest head off to them is the recent liquidity pool burn. So 4.meme it's actually, they may sound similar to Pumped Up Fund, but the way they engage and execute, they're very fast.
I agree.
And they don't bind themselves with just memes, actually. They're trying a lot of different things, but they don't forget us. I mean, they're trying to go for a gaming narrative, they're trying to go for different stuff to support them and grow. But all the projects that's staying, Siren,
like Siren's an AI.
I mean, but they don't forget us. I mean, they bring everyone together to the table and see what specializes, and they find memes that not just are memes. They found us because we're a gaming background, and they think it adds a fresh angle to the whole meme crowds.
Of course,
so,
there are so many things of everything in Web3, but there are not much. Like there are so many exchanges, but there is not much Binance. So. There are everything of everything, but there are successful in every industry, right? And honestly, I just knew you maybe 1.5 months ago or something. And at the beginning, I was skeptical, like I'm not sure, because in this space you find a lot of bullshit talkers,
Yeah.
and when it comes to the reality and executions, they are the first people to let go. But no, I mean, as your project, it went to a big market cap at some point, then it went down, but you were the same person every single day.
Oh,
And that's why I said, hey, when you come to my show right away, because I'm the good Chinese person, me myself. Like I work 16 hours a day. I don't have vacations. I enjoy working. Right, this is my passionate. Maybe sometimes I go with my Chinese friends to KTV here. It doesn't end up
here.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It doesn't end up well at the end because they get but it's funny as usual. So we go like once a month. My culture is more Chinese, so my habits are more Chinese also. I don't know if you see my followers. I have a lot of Chinese followers.
Yes, I do.
Today you're gonna see in the B&B chain a lot of Chinese. I'm waiting for them to see the first time even, but some of them I know. So I loved your passion. I love that you're really working, let's say, your ass off to make this because you believe and you're passionate. And I hope people in Web3 and on the B&B chain, they give you a bigger light because we don't have enough. We don't have actually anyone with IP with a game at this moment in the entire chains. Maybe there are a few, but in B&B chain also, I think you're the only, and I think you deserve it because you are really working at your maximum level.
Thank you,
to make this happen. By the way, people know me in industry. I'm an asshole. I don't really say good things easy. I don't know. I'm known about this. People watching, they know this about me. So when I say it, I really mean it. And I've seen you several times. You're always there. Even one time you didn't answer. You answered second. They told me, "Oh, sorry, I couldn't see it." So you're there, and you want to give the best because you believe in it. I want you because you said your community most of them are. You don't have that big Chinese, and I have a lot of Chinese. I want you to explain what is this. Everything you know how to speak Chinese, right?
Yes.
Shoot it.
Dude, in Mandarin.
Yeah.
Dude, you want to explain what a dude is in Mandarin?
Yeah, and the token and be like you have 2 minutes.
Wow，很久没说普通话了。但是dude其实是我们一个香港的 IP，是一个我们花了9年时间研究的一个，不仅是一个游戏，还是一个有动漫、有微短剧、有这个小游戏跟商品的一个 IP。这个是我们花了10年时间，有60人的一个团队所创作出来的一个游戏。它不仅是一个原创，还是一个创新的 IP， 因为我们从我们的故事的原著的故事跟我们的玩法都是独一无二的，所以我们花了那么多年时间去做这个，其实真的是一个我们不会放弃的一个梦想来的。来年你们还会看到更多的不同的 products 的元素会推出来。这个是比以前更容易对大众受众的一个产品。Web3 跟 blockchain 这个 layer 其实这会是我们寻找最早的一些人员跟一些 core community holders 的一个地方，也希望可以能得到大家的意见跟帮忙去把我们的产品做得更好。
谢谢。This is now Japanese. Yatta. So, Frank, guys, first of all, nothing is a financial advice. But why sometimes I go passionate with things because this space is really becoming more crazy recently in the last year. It changed a lot. And people just went to pure 100% gambling, which I also gamble. I have the Chinese habit in my life. But I always like to see other things and other people are building. And these people are building. If things went well for them, they go to a different level. So that's why I like to diversify my bags. Of course, you do your own research. And this is the project. And you can purchase this or not, by the way, or it's just gifts.
That's actually an NFT version of this plushie. If you buy it and go to our community, we can mail it to you.
But can you buy it directly with the token?
Not yet. It's actually quite a limited version. There's only very few of them left, and we usually give it to supporters like you right now.
I think if you made a full, I think if you made even pillows and things like that, I think people will buy it.
Actually, a lot of people offered to buy it. And coming up, because we're in the licensing and the merchandising, we actually will be. We actually got a pretty big merchandising partnership that we will announce. Because actually a lot of crypto projects, they love merchandise and they love to create their own. But there's one problem that prevents them from mass manufacturing. That's the distribution problem. Because crypto is spread around the world, and shipping a product from, well, with the tariffs right now.
Yeah, forget it.
It's going to be insane. And even before the tariffs, it's hard to stockpile or deliver these to the States or to Southeast Asia or Latin America. There's always these random taxes, tariffs, or bribes that you have to pay, and nobody really cracked that code. That's why you only see crypto merch mostly in events as giveaways. But actually, a lot of people love crypto merch, especially IP NFTs.
Yeah. No, for me, when I start touching it, I'm like I want to have more. Now, I'm not sure if I really like because it's really soft and the character, or because my tokens are inside also. I want to push my bags. It's a mix of both.
Well, that's why if you've ever been to a crypto exhibition with a Apeiron booth, our booth has always been one of the most filled booths because everyone's trying to get the plushie, and we try to make them do all these tasks and everything in the booth. But yeah, we will definitely be because IP, one of the core things is merchandise.
Yes.
And with the right merchandising partner, hinting, such as Pudgy Penguins, they have a pretty good retail partner. And it helped them distribute and grow their awareness. And we're going to have that soon as well. But I'll leave that announcement when it's ready.
All right. Guys, we had one of the very nice, straightforward, humble people I see in the last maybe 6 months. Be sure to check the project. We're going to put everything in the description and social media. Frank, Shishia, thank you very much for coming. I hope to see you next time when this is becoming a big IP brand.
Yes.
And the token to the moon in the right place where it should be.
Fingers crossed. But we won't rush until we get there.
Yes, slowly but surely. Shishia, thank you very much.
Thank you, Alja.
It's not just a room.
It's the Room of Eljaboom.
Let's go!
Let's go.
I'm looking at the floor price. Hey, Brody, where the broom? We could hit a suite. I've been getting at it. I ain't barely get to sleep.